have a seat. Hi, Joni. Hi, Cassie. Nice to meet you. My name is Sharon Witherspoon. So you're here today. Are you a new entrant freshman, or are you still in high school? Okay, and you think about attending UMD? So you want to know about financial aid, or what are the questions that you have? Okay. The very first thing that we do is that you need to complete the financial aid FAFSA. It's called the free application for financial aid, and this year this is a form here. I will give this to you, and then any other questions you have will be in the student guidebook. And so before you begin to complete the FAFSA, you will need a copy of your taxes and your parents' taxes and W-2s. And if you're under 24 and you're not married, you don't have a child, you're not actively in the service, you're not a ward of the court, you're not in a graduate program, you're considered a dependent student, and that's why you have to use your parents' taxes. A lot of students say, well, my parents don't support me, or I'm out of the home, but the federal government definition for independent is you're 24 or older or married, or the other things I just said before. That is correct if she's under 24 and if she doesn't fall into the categories. And in reference to scholarships, we have online, you can go to the website for financial aid, and then we have an option there to click on for scholarships. New entrant freshmen, when you go to the admissions office, they will inform you of the scholarships that are available for entering freshmen. Normally they're like the top 5 or 10 or 25% of the class based on your merit. Any other scholarships are self-sought and on your own. Let's see what else is there. That's about it for scholarships. I'm not in a position to answer that. That would be dealt with directly through the Office of Admissions. So when you meet with the admissions counselor, talk to them about, I'm more knowledgeable in the area of financial aid. The other thing is that to receive financial aid, you have to be admitted to the university. So you have to be in an eligible program. An eligible program means that you have to be admitted to a college like Fine Arts, College of Education, SBE, SCE, CSE. The FAFSA will allow you, if you're considering UMD, you can list up to 5 institutions you're considering attending. So each institution will receive your financial aid. But it's not until you are admitted to an institution that you'll really be able to receive financial aid. I don't know. Then you can ask me questions. Do you have any questions, Kelsey? The Department of Vocation Rehab, there are students who receive funding from them. And first of all, the Department of Vocational Rehab really require you to have the FAFSA done, because what they do is try to award you based on the information that's on the FAFSA. First of all, let me start over. Let me go back again. The FAFSA determines your need, and that means that it determines your EFC. EFC is expected family contribution. And so that's the key figure that everything is based on. So, but if your EFC is right now is under $3,700, $0 to $3,700, you'll be eligible for the federal Pell Grant. And if it's below, right now it's about 56 or 5,800, it makes you eligible for the Minnesota State Grant. What Rehab do is that once they know what you're receiving from financial aid, whether they want to know whether you're going to get the Pell Grant or the state grant, then they try to eliminate the loans for you. And they used to require you to do this financial form. Now they really don't. All you need to do now is register for classes, and your counselor knows that you are attending the university. They send an authorization to the billing office, not to financial aid. It used to come to financial aid, but within this last year they changed their policy. So now they send an authorization voucher to the billing office, and they also send an authorization voucher to the bookstore. So then you be allowed. You just go purchase your books and you register for classes, and that's how it's done. If you're eligible for the Pell Grant and the state grant, you will receive that. So it's just a combination of those funds together. Grants and scholarships is a form of gift aid that you do not repay, that only loans you repay back. So any scholarships, any grants, fellowships, rehab, those funding it's called gift aid, where you do not have to repay. If you live on campus, that's part of your bill. So tutoring doesn't cost you anything. You just go to the tutoring office, the center, and you just sign in there, and they try to find someone to assist you. Your bill consists of tuition, fees, housing, and if you live on campus, it would be like your telephone bill would be a part of that bill. So any amount, any scholarships, any grants, any loans you get will go toward clearing that bill. Then when that bill is cleared, then the difference is yours. In reference to the cafeteria, when you live on campus, if you get a meal plan, that's part of your bill. That's included in the housing fee. There's a three meal plan and two plan. So it's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or breakfast and dinner, lunch and dinner. It's kind of like your choice of what plan you get. Currently, housing runs about $2,300 or $2,400 per semester. The cost to attend UMD this year is like $13,442, and you divide it in half. It comes to $6,172 for fall and spring. So then if you fall in our spring, so that if you had financial aid, you can get up to the $6,172. And then when you have your tuition and fees and housing was somewhere like $4,000 plus, then that difference would be for you to use at your discretion for living arrangements and supplies and etc. I really don't know. We do have some stats here, but an awful high percentage of students receive financial aid, be it in the form of a loan. Some students say, well, I want my financial aid, and they think that a loan is not financial aid, but a loan is a form of financial aid. And we offer alternative loans. We have applications for like Citibank, Wells Fargo, Choice, which is Marquette, and self-loan. Self-loan is a loan where the state of Minnesota is a lender, so that's one of the lower interest loans. And then the federal student loan, of course, and most students do take that out. There are annual loan limits. Freshmen receive $2,625 for the year, and you get half of that a semester, and that's only $1,300. So well, you know right there, $1,300 is not going to get you through a semester. So you're looking at other forms of financial aid, outside aid, or either additional loans. Sophomore receives $3,500 for the year. Half of that is $1,750. Then juniors and seniors receive $5,500 for the year, and half of that is $2,750. So you do have annual loan limits. The max loan throughout your undergraduate term for dependent students is $23,000. So you can max out. And it sounds like a lot, but when you think about the needs and the cost of things, that $23,000 is eaten up real quick. Most students are taking 5 years to get out of school instead of 4. So you have to know, it's wise to talk to when you come into school and you go to the admissions office, just to know, kind of have an idea where you're going to go and what you're going to do. A lot of students come in undecided, and you take a lot of classes that you don't need, then that eats up the loans and etc. So it's kind of nice to have an idea, have a goal. We do have additional services that are available, like through career services. They offer you this test where you can test your interest and things like that. So we kind of encourage students to do that. We have a lot of services for students, supportive services for students that are very good here at UMD. Yeah, and normally what I tell students is that, I say a whole lot, but then you really, once you get into the process of doing it, then once the FAFSA is done, you may have questions with this, and then you can come back and see me or give me a call. Once the information is on the system, I can tell you, you may have other questions. If your taxes are not done when you can do this without the taxes being done. However, we will request it's a process called verification. So we would always request a copy of the taxes and W-2s. It may require you to verify anything, citizenship or social security numbers don't match and things like that. We may require a copy of request a copy of a social security card or registration cards or things like that. So, but it's a very good process, and we're here to help you. The very first step is completing the FAFSA. To receive financial aid, you have to be admitted to the university. But in reference to VOHAB, I don't think they require admittance to a particular college. They just may, if you register for classes, they may pay for it. But to receive traditional financial aid like federal funds and state grants, you would have, and university scholarships, you would have to be admitted to the university. Go through the admissions process. And then the admissions process is when you pay a fee, whatever that application fee is, then you come in for orientation. And that orientation answers a lot of your questions. And we do provide a financial aid counselor in one of your orientation sessions. And then most parents and students may have additional questions, and you can feel free to come into our office. We're right next door to the admissions office. This packet also determines your eligibility for what's called college work study. College work study comes in 2 forms. If you're eligible for college work study, it's need-based and or miscellaneous employment. Miscellaneous employment is where the department just hires you straight up. College work study is where you have the need, and then the government pays 70%, and the department will pay 30%. Jobs are posted online through the Human Resources Office. We have a website available. So there is eligibility. You get paid for the hours that you work, and you get a check every other Wednesday. The general award has been about $1,500 for the year. But if you still have need and you think you can earn more than that amount, then you will come in and see one of us, and then we will award you more. usually limited to 1,500 because there are a lot of students who may want to have the job, so we don't tie up all the funds. The work study award will stay on your award for about a month. If you don't find a job within the month time, then we'll take it off. But you can, because you're eligible for it, we can always put it back on, offer it to you again. Food service hire a lot of students. The library hire a lot of students. And what I tell students that if you think that a department is willing to hire you or where you think you want to work, just go ask, and there may be something available there for you. We have community service work study jobs, like with the Boys and Girls Club. There's an America Reads program where you go into the schools and read to students. There are on-campus jobs and off-campus jobs. So we really try to place you somewhere. I'm glad I could do it. Bless you and have a good day. Take care. Nice to meet you. I'm sure we'll meet again.